Obviously, when you're filming with the ginger monster...
Hello. Oh no, I've got a bit of straggly hair there.
You have to be prepared that ginger monster is going to interrupt your video making. So today,
because I knew that you probably wouldn't film.
So today, she decided that she was going to film this band playing. I might actually nick that video and put it in this video.
It's quite good.
But she decided to video a band playing, and as I started recording, wanted to play this music in the background. Ginger monster, annoying. So let's continue our little walk.
It's got this silly blonde bird with a hooky nose and a red bag, so running across this shot though.
Let's continue.
You messed up my shot.
Let's continue on this walk with the ginger monster towards Hampton Court Palace in this beautiful park on a beautiful London day. And I'm testing out this Sigma 16mm 1.4 with the ginger monster. Yeah,
hello.
In autofocus. So let's go. Walking up to Hampton Court Palace, me and the ginger monster. It's a beautiful approach, this. Not many people out on it today either, which is fantastic. And it's a beautiful summer's day in London. I cannot believe it's like the 3rd or 4th of August?
2nd of August.
Oh, it's the 2nd of August, stand corrected. It's the 2nd of August and there's hardly anybody here. This part in front of the palace is actually called Home Park. So if you look in the internet, have a look up Home Park. And this is a beautiful walk in front of Hampton Court Palace. This is the perspective of what I'm seeing in front of me as I continually be interrupted by the ginger monster. Okay, these trees were planted between in 200 years ago, and basically as we're walking and approaching the palace now, we're approaching the younger end of the palace. I think this is Edwardian, and the palace itself houses the largest grapevine in the world, which is in the palace itself. I don't know whether the palace is open yet, but as soon as it opens, I am intending to do another trip in there, and you can get a ticket to go to 6 palaces in London, and I think it's about £70. So if ever you come to visit London, get one of those annual passes, and I guarantee even if you pay £70, you will save a load of money in the long run. And also what's really neat about here is there are about 200 to 300 deer that are resident in the park.
Oh, no,
we're just coming up to those now. I haven't got a telephoto lens on, but we're just walking up to those now. It's a hot day here in London. I have got my sun cream on, got my sunblock on. Yeah, Jane forced me to come out today, thank goodness. And I'm walking this tree-lined path up towards Hampton Court Palace. This path was built in the 17th century, and we're approaching the newest part of the palace, which I think is the Edwardian section, and on the front you've got the part of the palace which was from Henry VIII's time. Now, that palace originally was owned by Cardinal Wolsey, who was in favour with Henry VIII. And when unfortunately he lost favour and was subsequently executed reluctantly by Henry VIII, Henry VIII took over Hampton Court Palace and used it as his own. And the gardens within the palace were designed by a designer called Capability Brown. And there is a lake here as well, and that was brought in during Charles I or Charles II this time, I think. I've got to be sure on the history before I present it. But it's a glorious day and a glorious walk. And I'm so glad I got to come out and do this walk. And like I said, I want to see how good the 16mm lens is when I vlog. It doesn't have lens stabilization, so I've got it at the end of my hand with a Manfrotto stick. It does get a bit heavy, but I think for the quality of picture you get on, it's really good. And here she is.
What's the blonde bird nattering on about?
I'm nattering on about all sorts of stuff.
Nerd stuff.
No, I've just gone on about the history of the palace before you rudely interrupted me, because when I go on about the history, Jane comes in and corrects me, and I don't know who's the most strong, me or her. So maybe we should both read up on the history, but I do know some of it because I have bothered to read up. Let's continue this walk with the ginger monster. As you can see, Ginger's walking along and she's wearing her Harvard hat.
We've already discussed that.
And this is the view, which is the pathway onto the palace. I'm showing you this because it gives you the wide angle perspective of what I'm seeing and what Ginger's seeing. I went out yesterday and I filmed with my Konica Hexagon 51.8 lens, and in the whole afternoon I wasn't successful until the last minute after taking about 50 photographs. The only photograph that came out well was one I took where people were eating al fresco out on the street, and I think I'm going to put that picture up later on in the vlog. But it's one of the reasons I'm passionate about lenses and passionate about photography and videography, is that if you can get that one shot, it just makes your entire day. And the fact that I can walk in this place in the middle of summer with hardly any people and it doesn't cost any money to enter is an absolute blessing. And Jane at the moment is filming some more deer who are sunbathing just right outside the palace gates. So let's take a walk outside the palace gates, and like she said earlier, I'll probably put on my Pentax 135 to see what views I can get with it. Of Hampton Court Palace. Behind us is Hampton Court Palace. I didn't think it was open, but I think they've opened it now, so eventually I might be able to go in there in the next few weeks and have a quick tour. And I think Ginger Monster will probably be still here. I'm trying to get rid of her, but she won't go away. You know when you've got a bad rash and it doesn't go away? Well, Ginger over here, she's like a bad rash and she don't go away. She's autofocus on, so this thing is following me really, really well. I don't know how good the stabilization is because I haven't got any stabilization on the camera at the moment, but we are here. We are going to find a pub now where we can actually have a nice Sunday lunch. And my top is a Charlie Brown top, which I got from Uniqlo for the princely sum of $3, but I really love it. It's got all this peanut stuff, and when I was a kid I used to watch Snoopy. Found some sort of exit out of the park now. Who'd have thought there'd be something like this in the middle of, like, just outside of London. There's all this like lovely open land that you can walk in, and there's not that many people here. It's nice, this. Are you enjoying your little walk, Ginger?
I persuaded you to.
I was very reticent to come out today. I really was reluctant. You
were wanting to lounge about in your.
You know when you have those days, you know when you have those days where you just want to chill and relax. Well, I was in one of those. I just want to chill and relax.
Boring.
Yeah, being boring, I guess. And Jane was nagging me, and I was like,
Lovely, beautiful summer's day. You've got this on your doorstep.
I decided not to come out today, but actually Ginger nagged me to come out, which was probably a good move, to be honest with you, because I would have been stuck indoors basically doing nothing. So at this point in time, I'm very glad that I did. And I'm not making the most of Ginger days, because when I'm with Ginger, trying to actually film a vlog is 10 times harder work because she keeps interrupting me. But like I said, we're off on a mission to find a place where we can have a Sunday lunch. So off we pop to the pub, and here's an image of Ginger with her Harvard hat on, looking like a bedraggled little lost puppy. Look,
Sunday best on.
Gingy's got a Sunday suit on here.
Oh, I think that's one of the green parakeets.
There's Gingy's summer suit on there. She's all dressed up with nowhere to go. She actually isn't in her Sunday best. She's in her Sunday best walking outfit. Let's just say that when we go out walking and we're taking a lot of photographs and stuff like that, she doesn't dress in her best. We just dress up, ready to go out in the wild and photograph stuff. Okay, we are like just out of the park now, so you wouldn't believe that I've just walked out of that country park, and the traffic now here is
Bumper to bumper.
Bumper to bumper on a Sunday, and the park is absolutely deserted. Don't understand that one, but have a look at this. And obviously the usual flurry of bike cyclists, but why would you on a beautiful Sunday want to get entangled in traffic like this when you're right by one of the most beautiful parks in the country?
You can't park.
And there's really no parking here. So I'm surprised, but we're still on the mission to find our Sunday lunching place, aren't we, Ginge? So we are continuing the walk along towards Kingston, and Ginger wants a shot of this boat right here.
Oh, he's waving.
Yay! So Jane's having a midlife crisis,
According to you.
according to me, and has decided that it might be a good idea to get a paddleboard and go down the river. She's never paddleboarded.
No, I thought I might try and hire one. And
Right,
see
okay.
what it's
So anyway, Ginger's got this crazy idea that she might try and hire a paddleboard to go down the river. I don't know. I hope she wears a life jacket when she engages in that endeavour, and it'll be quite hilarious to film Ginger on a paddleboard. However, on
falling in the hole.
on saying that, she is quite accomplished at kayaking, so we'll have to see how well this paddleboarding goes, but it will be a film. It won't quite be a Philip Bloom film, but it'll be a Random Life production film. Jane is getting me an ice cream, and the distance from Hampton Court Palace to Kingston is about 3 miles, I think, and we've already walked about 5 miles in total when we end up in Kingston today. So we are getting Magnum ice creams to eat, which I'm looking forward to, and I'm having a cold cider when I get home because I fancy one, and then I'm going to edit up this video as well.